What's up, you guys? I wanted to talk to y'all today. This is for the empaths, because I'm an empath. I'm like super empathic to the point where it's like ridiculous. So if you don't know what an empath is, it's basically a person who can feel the emotions of others on a deep soul level. Like you can feel it miles away. And oftentimes you are a very compassionate person. You easily put yourself in other people's shoes and feel what they're going through, and then you take on their emotions. So I'm doing this video because it's like a gift and a curse. It's like a blessing to have the gift to be able to feel for others, because we are 9 times out of 10 the helpers and the healers of the community, because we want to help. We know what other people are feeling. We know that they're battling certain issues, and we want to save them. We are the people that have a savior complex. Like I always tell y'all, I'm super saver hoe. Like super save this person, super save. I have a savior complex. We want to save these people that are hurting. And oftentimes that can put us in a position to be taken advantage of. And we'll end up suffering a lot of betrayal trauma because we put our feelings, our needs on the back burner to help everybody else out. And then it's like, I put my needs last and put you first, and then this is how you repay me? Because they often take advantage of us because we lack boundaries, for one. As an empath, we really lack boundaries. And this is why when you're healing, because a lot of us become broken because of the constant betrayal and being taken advantage of from a child. I really believe that God marked us this way on purpose. And I said it in my video the other day, like that oftentimes we are the black sheep. We get ostracized because we're different. You know, 9 times out of 10, when you're an empath, you have a family full of narcissists. You're surrounded by them, and you're constantly trying to put yourself in position to be loved by these people who refuse to love you the way you need to be loved. So when that happens, y'all excuse these birds. I don't know, they must got a nest up here. Every time I come out and try to talk, they want to talk. But oftentimes, because we always have put our feelings on the back burner for other people, and 9 times out of 10 we were, you know, suffer some form of neglect, emotional neglect, where we weren't seen or heard. We wasn't acknowledged unless we were showing up and showing out for everybody else. So it naturally put us in a position to be of service. We're people that always want to be of service. That's part of our love language, is serving you, doing for you. And sometimes that can put you in a position to be taken advantage of because you end up doing too much. You end up being too much of a giver. And then people will take and take and take and take from you until you're depleted. Now you're like, dang, once again, I'm last. I put my own self last. Everybody else put me last. And it can cause you to have some feelings of unworthiness, and it can really bring on a bunch of negative emotions for you, and you will become broken because people always end up treating you wrong. This is why a lot of people will be like, you know, I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, I did everything for this person, and I did this and I did that, and I sacrificed this and I sacrificed that, because you did. And this is why I always say, even though you may not have been the toxic person, even though you may have been the giver, you're still at fault, because you have to learn boundaries. You have to learn the boundaries. You have to learn boundaries. And as an empath, that is your job. If you're an empath and you're afraid to say no because you're afraid of confrontation, you're afraid of letting people down, that is your assignment for the remainder of this year and for the remainder of life, is to learn boundaries. Learn when to say no. If you don't really want to do it, don't do it. Don't always do things just to make you happy, because people will take advantage of you. You know, I'm still learning this, because I even had, you know, since being in Texas, I had, you know, met a girl, you know, and our daughters are friends, and I realized even with her, like, she started to try to take advantage because I was picking her kids up, and I'm doing all of this for her kids, but I'm like, you ain't doing that for my kids. And then you get to a point where you just asking me too much. You just like, you give them an inch, they take a mile. And that's what'll happen with us, is because we're not having the boundaries. We want to be there for them, and we don't want to say no. We don't want to let people down. And especially if it's like we're not doing nothing else, you want to help the people. But sometimes, even if you don't have nothing going on, you just don't feel like doing it, just say no. Like, say no. Don't be worried about how they're going to feel. Like, because if the shoe was on the other foot, they'll tell you no and feel nothing about it. But as an empath, you have to learn the boundaries. You have to learn when to put your foot down. You have to learn when to say no. And even when it comes to your kids, because I realized that too with me, I have to learn boundaries with my kids, because they too will take advantage of you. They will take advantage of you. So you have to put your foot down. They know that you don't want their feelings hurt, especially when you grew up with emotionally unavailable parents. If you grew up with narcissistic parents, y'all, I'm right here. So when I look right here, that's me looking here. But I be trying to look at the camera thing so that I'm looking there. But I be feeling like I'm just looking at nothing when I'm looking right here. But they'll take advantage of you too. And you have to have those boundaries with everybody, within the workplace, within your family. You cannot be afraid to say no because of confrontation. You cannot be afraid of confrontation. You cannot. You have to know how to be firm and address things as accordingly. Stop letting stuff just go. Stop walking on eggshells to avoid confrontation. And we do that a lot because, for one, we be seeking love. We be wanting love that we never receive. Like I was about to say, if you grew up with emotionally unavailable parents, you want to be that emotionally available person for everybody around you. But it can put you in a position to become an emotional dump. And then you taking on everybody else's problems. You taking on. And they coming to you. Everybody comes to you. 9 times out of 10, if everybody always come to you, you the go-to person. They know they can come tell you all their problems. Like, people probably out in the public even come just talking to you. It's like you are a walking magnet for people's emotions. And people feel it. It's like, you know, they know you. They can feel that you are the one that I can come pour all these problems onto. Random people. So it's hard being in life as an empath, but it's hard to it's important to have boundaries, and because people they'll deplete you. They'll pour so much onto you, and then you'll take on their problems. Now you walking around feeling their emotions. Like, you was happy-go-lucky, fine, everything was good for you, everything was copacetic. Now they come telling you this, telling you that. Now you taking on their problems. Now you depressed. Now you angry. Now you ready to go out and destroy things with them. Now you're feeling like them because you're an emotional sponge. You're taking on their emotions. So you have to learn how to listen to people. You can hear them out, offer compassion, but understand how to separate it. That is their problem. You might can offer them some advice. Sometimes they don't even want to receive the advice, but they just want to keep pouring it all onto you. And I know for me, that's why I isolate a lot. I have to isolate a lot. I have to go back to recharge, because being amongst other humans, it takes a lot of energy for me. It really does. It's a lot of energy for me. So I have to go back into my own cocoon to recharge, to regroup, to feel free again, and to just get my mind back right, get my energy back right how I need, so I can thrive. Because these people will pull everything from you, and if you don't have the boundaries, it can deplete you, and then you'll be used up until you left dry. You left dry, and now there's no one to water you. Now you walking around mad, feeling used, abused, hurt. Now you got trust issues. You scared to even make connections with people because you know that they're going to use you all up because you don't have those boundaries. So you have to learn how to set a foundation. It's rules and regulations for this thing. For me, I can't have people that are professional complainers. I honestly believe that people that cause I'm a problem solver, and most empaths, we're problem solvers. We're the healers, we're the fixers, we're super saver people. We want to save everybody. We want to solve problems. And some people don't really want their problem solved. They just want to complain. They just want to vent. So I'm not that person that you just want to vent to. If you coming to me, you need to be coming to me to tell me this because you want a resolution, because I'm about resolutions. I'm about fixing problems. So if you want a person to just hear you out and sit there and just say, you don't need to go to an empath. Well, at least not this one right here. You don't need to come to me. You need to go to a narcissist, because they don't care about your feelings anyway. They don't really care. They'll hear you out and just probably, That's the type of person you need to vent to. If you just want a venting person. That's who you go to. You don't just come to me. Because I'm the person who wants to, okay, what can we do so that doesn't happen again? How can I help you help yourself so that you're not feeling that way? And then when you do feel like that, you know how to get through it and cope through that. You don't come to me with that. That's why I don't like professional complainers. I don't like people that keep complaining all the time about the same thing. And you ain't doing nothing to fix it. At this point, you just want to hear yourself talk. And I'm not that girl that, don't come talk to me about that. You go talk to a narc who they don't even really care in the first place. And they ain't willing to help you because all they care about is helping themselves. They don't want to help you anyway. They selfish. They self-centered. So it's best to go talk to those people, because you don't really want no results anyway. Only come to an empath when you want results, when you really want the help. Don't come to us just talking, doing all that stuff. Because all you're doing is messing with my energy. You're messing with our energy. You know? And it's very important for us to learn how to take our power back, because a lot of times we become broken because, like I said, we take on other people's problems and then we want to save them, and then we often fall in love with people like this who are takers and we're such givers, and then now they didn't took so much from us. Now it's like, dang, me again. I'm sitting here. What about me? It's like, I care about your needs, but you don't care about mine. I still have needs. Yes, I'm a healer. Yes, I can help you. Yes, I can do this, but I still be needing help too. Hello. I still need to get watered too. I'm still a plant too. I still need some water. It's hot out here. I'm going to fall over too if I don't get poured back into. And they don't, that big old bee. Come on now. Come on now, go on for me. I wish I had some bee spray. But, he's bothering me. He's really making me nervous. But, yeah, you'll get to a point where it's like, dang, and now you feeling depleted. Now you feeling like, dang, no one really cares about me. They just only want me for what I'm good for. They just want to use me for whatever I'm good for. And it's like, that's why you have to learn how to, you can give a little, but know how to take it back. And this is why for when you dealing with like narcissists, and they so used to you doing everything, they so used to you pouring into them, they so used to your supply. We are empaths, we are narcissists top tier supply, because they are self-centered people. They want everything about them, all attention on them. They want their ego stroked so bad. And we'll do that because we know that they need this love. We know, 9 times out of 10, we know about their past. We know, oh, no one loved you. Oh, so let me give you all that love. Let me give you that affection that you never had. And they'll just take advantage of that. And they'll take advantage of it. And then you'll find yourself depleted because they're not giving you that in return. And then you find yourself in a place of brokenness, a place of hurt and pain, because you didn't know how to give them some, but don't give them all you had. A lot of us, we be just falling so hard in. You don't know how to just give some. We be all or nothing. Let me give it all to you or give none of it to you. But you gotta have some balance with it. It needs to be some equilibrium to it, because if not, you will get ran dry. And then now you're gonna start falling into depression, hating yourself, having eating disorders, going to all these vices. You're gonna now start to feel unworthy because you've been such a good support to a person who didn't appreciate your support, and now you're feeling less than. But really, you're not less than. Really, you still are capable of receiving the same love and nurturing that you give to them, you know. But you have to place the boundaries in place, get to yourself, do some inner work on you. And a lot of times, us as empaths, We feel so much for others because we know how it feels to not be seen, not be heard, not be loved, not be shown no affection. We know how I feel because 9 times out of 10, if you're an empath, you're the black sheep. You were the one in your family or in your friend group, or you were that one that wasn't seen. So you know how it feels. And we do everything in our power for other people not to feel how we felt. A lot of our intentions is just so we can help others not feel that same pain that we felt because we know how it feels. So now we want to show up for people so that they don't have to face that. Because we know it comes from a place of our own brokenness, our own disdain for our own self, and that other people have projected onto us because they didn't feel that we were worthy of being seen, heard, loved, hugged, kissed, affection. So, you know, you really gotta have balance with it. You really gotta take your power back from those people because they will use you all up. And then when you get your power back, when you take your power back, now people will look at you like you the bad guy. Like, oh, how dare you? They're so used to you showing up and being their emotional dump. They're used to you coming to all of their needs and demands. They used to you doing all of that. So when you draw back, now it's like, hold up, who you think you are? How dare you not come to my needs anymore? How dare you not sit here for hours with me on the phone and listen to me complain about the same thing every day? How dare you not do that? How dare you not? My phone get ready to die, so I'm about to wrap it up. But how dare you not show up for me? How dare you? But you didn't show up for me. You're not showing up for me. The moment I do the same back to you, now I'm the bad guy. Now that I don't want to hear you sitting here rambling on about this, I don't want to be your emotional dump anymore. I can't do the same. You're not, when it's my turn to talk about what's bothering me, you cutting me off. You changing the subject. You turning the subject back on you. Once again, it's like, dang, I can never vent about what I got going on. As soon as I get one little sentence out, here you go, bringing it back to you. Like, and that's why I really just say to myself, because it's even girls, like friends that will do that to you too, and it be like, dang, can I get out what I got going on? I can't ever talk about what I got going on. And that's why oftentimes I don't. That's why I just stay to myself and talk to myself, talk to God. I'm like, well, I talk to these people, they don't really care anyway, and they ain't even gonna give me no feedback. They ain't gonna say nothing. They gonna switch it back on them. So why even talk to these people? This is why I often just say to myself, I feel like it's much safer being to myself than to being amongst other people, because people are really selfish and I'm selfless. But on this journey, I'm learning how to be a bit more selfish. I'm learning how to put my needs first. I'm learning how not to cater to everything cater to everyone else. And like I said, I even have to learn this with my children, because they'll do the same thing. They'll do the same thing. I asked my daughter to do something for me. She, but as soon as you ask me, you want me to jump right up and go do it. And 9 times out of 10, I do it. Now that's why I start returning the energy. That same energy. Like, nah, you can wait, hold up. Like, I start complaining too. You ask me to do something, like, and I realized that it goes really deep with this. You have to learn boundaries. You have to get to a point where you do gain some selfishness. You have to have a healthy level of narcissism. And that's what I'm learning. To really prosper in this life, you have to, the world is built on narcissism. It's built on power, control, dominance, and self-centeredness. Everybody wants to be the center of attention. Everybody wants all their needs met. They don't care who they take from. They don't care as long as they getting what they need. So you have to gain some type of narcissism too. To thrive and make it in this world, you better gain some sort of narcissism. We all have some narcissistic traits, and sometimes we have to learn this. I say this all the time with me, like, I had to learn to have narcissistic traits that I didn't learn from these narcissists. I had to learn how to hit you back with her. I had to learn how to be a little manipulative so I can get something too, because if I don't, I will literally have nothing. I will literally get left dry like you. I won't have nothing. I will literally keep getting stepped on. You will keep getting stepped on if you don't learn how to have some type of manipulation tactics too. They manipulate you for what they want, now you manipulate them back. Okay, if you don't do this for me, I ain't doing that for you. You want this from me? I need this from you, so what we gonna do? What we gonna do? I'm not giving you everything you want from me if I can't get everything I want from you. That's just not, it's just how it's, I'm not doing it. Oh, especially like, you know, I'm not even gonna go into detail because my phone about to die, but I can really go on and on about this, especially like on a relationship type level. Like, you know, that's why one thing I realized with me, I will withhold sex because you want sex so bad and I want other things. So what's important to you is not what's important to me. So if you want to withhold this, you know, I'm looking for this, you know, I need you to do this thing, and you refusing to do it, but yet you want me to show up and show out in the bedroom. You want me to show up and show out sexually. Do you want me to show up multiple times a week and want to give you my body? This is my most prized possession. So you want me to give you my most prized possession, but I can't get your time. I can't get attention. I can't get you to support me in the way that I need support. I can't get your help when it comes to certain things consistently, but you want me to consistently give you my body though. Nah, so now I'm gonna hold back on my body because that's what you really want. You really want that, or you really want my time, you really want my listening ear, you really want my advice, you really want that, so I'm gonna hold back on it, and I'll go talk to somebody else about your problems. My door is now closed to listening to professional complainers, to listening to people and all their problems. When the shoe on the other foot, you ain't listening to me, you quick to cut me off, you quick to change the subject on me when I'm venting to you. So nah, I'm gonna keep that same energy with you. If I come to you about the problem, if I can't come to you about certain things, don't come to me about certain things. Because if the shoe's on the other foot and I needed that same help, you can't give it to me. So one thing about it is literally learning how to say no, learning how to put your foot down. Understand that when you put your foot down, these narcs out here, they gonna hate you, baby. They gonna hate you, but it's so what? So what? They can hate you all they want, but when you get to a place where you learn to love yourself, because a lot of empaths initially, we don't love ourselves because we've been taken so advantage of. We feel unworthy. Here she come. But you have to learn the boundaries, and you have to learn to have a healthy level of narcissism, because that's the way you're gonna get ahead in this world. You have to have some self-centeredness. You have to have some ability to have some me time. You have to do that. You have to do things that feed you. You got to learn to nurture you the way you want to nurture everybody else out here and heal everybody else and save everybody else. Save you. Save that little girl in you. Save that little boy in you. Be that nurturing person that you need. Show up for you. The way you reinforce things for other people, the way you pour into them, the way you validate their feelings. Validate your feelings. Learn to validate your own feelings. Learn to love you. And when you get to that place where you really learn to love yourself, when you finally realize you do matter, I do matter, I am good for something other than just what they think I'm good for, or I am worthy of the same respect that I give them. When you begin to truly love yourself, you're gonna pour into yourself, and you're gonna become a narc nightmare. The worst enemy of a nightmare of a narcissist, the worst nightmare for a narcissist is an empowered empath who gained their power back, who learned to say no, who learned to not be codependent on them, who learned to really stand up for themselves, who learned to place boundaries, who learned to know when to remove access, because that's your biggest gift, having access to you. Especially as an empath, you're a healer. You're a healer. That's your mission here, is to heal and save the planet, the people here, maybe the pets here, maybe the environment, some way, shape or form. You're put here to save the earth, save people. But you become a nightmare when you learn to really stand up for yourself, when you learn to say no, when you learn to take your energy back, when you learn to show up for yourself, when you learn to put you first, when you learn that you do matter, your needs matter, when you really begin to heal from your brokenness, from your childhood trauma, when you really learn that you can do it without them, that you don't need them, that's when you become powerful. That's when you become powerful, and they'll hate it. They'll hate it when you remove access. They'll hate it when you start to awaken and know who you are and learn who you are and walk in your purpose. They'll begin to hate you. You become dangerous. You become a threat then. Because now they can't manipulate you like they used to. They can't, you won't fall victim to their little tricks and schemes. So I'm gonna leave this here, y'all, because my phone is getting ready to die. And I'll see you guys in the next video. But stay up, y'all. Deuces.